Hey YouTube, this is Zendikon Animist, and I'm bringing you a 3-part video here, in 3 parts in one video. That I'm going to be talking about my current build of my Zendikon deck. Then I want to talk about what I've learned through the process of working on the Zendikon deck, and then I kind of want to finish up with my philosophy for deck building for this deck and for decks I build going forward. But first I want to give a quick shout out to a bunch of people on Discord: Sunnyvale, Blue Sky Kingdom, and I'm not sure if I really hope I'm pronouncing this right, but probably not. Volney Batista, I hope I'm saying that right, because they gave me a lot of advice this morning on how to improve my deck, and they worked with me with the various constraints I had for the flavor of this deck to come up with this, which I think is a fairly solid deck. Not the best still, but solid enough. So the main changes I made are I cut Blight Blade I moved Blight Blade to the sideboard, and I moved Thicket Crusher to the main board in order to give my Zendikons trample, and I also added Vorst Claw because I needed more threats. So now instead of just having the 2 Zendikons to rely on to win, I have Nissa Zendikon, Vassal Zendikon, Thicket Crusher, and Vorst Claw. So I've effectively doubled my win cons. I think it was a very important decision. I also swapped Leaf Gilder out for Leafkin Druid, just because I think he's getting a little better. The 2 power is nice on Leaf Gilder, but I think just being able to add double mana is more relevant in late game, especially. So those are the main changes I made to the deck. I cut Plummet from the sideboard as well, but overall that was kind of the changes I made to the deck. But I'm not going to actually use this deck, and because I learned a lot through this experience. This is the second part of the video where I talk about what I learned about myself, mainly because I learned a lot from this experience of trying to optimize this deck. Because when I set out to build this deck, when Nissa Zendikon was first revealed, I started working on this deck because I love Nissa. She's my favorite character by a significant margin. I'll probably do a video on why she's so important to me one day, but for now, she's my favorite character by a significant margin. So I wanted to build a deck with Nissa Zendikon. And then I saw that Vassal Zendikon was also in the game, and so I decided, well, let's build a deck that uses elves, because it's used like elves, to ramp into Zendikons. Simple, straightforward premise. And I didn't think it was going to work. I thought it'd be a garbage deck, but I loved it because it was so flavorful. And when I played it, I found out 2 things. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed just out of nowhere turning my lands into creatures and attacking with them out of nowhere. That was really fun. And I also learned that strategy has some legs to it. The ability to go leave Druid the Cowl, Landlord Visionary, attack for 6 with Vassal Zendikon on turn 4. That I felt had some legs. So what happened next? I wanted to make it better, because it was winning a few games, but not quite enough. I was maybe trying to get to the 5-0 potential, which is never going to happen, league win to get my deck published in our Discord. And because of that, I lost sight of why I built the deck to begin with. Because as I said, I built this deck to be fun and flavorful. And by trying to optimize it, trying to get it better, trying to make it win more, I'd lost some of the flavor, and I had also lost some of the fun. Because I started caring more about winning and caring less about the fun. And I realized I didn't like that. And I think what really drove that home is I was playing Sunnyvale in a test match earlier, and I had, I think, 2 Vorst Claws on the field, or maybe a Vorst Claw and a Thicket Crasher, and I ran through, and I used those to kill him. I had 2 Nissa Zendikon in my hand, which never played, because the optimal play was to play Vorst Claw, because he was bigger, and I think the Thicket Crasher had trample. But Nissa Zendikon is a card I wanted to play, and so suddenly, for the first time, the attempts to win, represented by Vorst Claw, were at odds with what I wanted to do, which is play my Zendikons. So because of that, I have decided not to keep improving this deck, to go back a step to where it was, probably with Light Blade in the main board was where I will probably end it, and I'll probably keep using that in leagues. I might try some other decks as well, we'll see. But at the end of the day, that's what I want out of the game, out of Magic, is what I want, is honestly just right now, just play my Zendikons and attack with them. That's what I enjoy from playing Magic both on Arena and in paper, and I think it's very important for everyone who plays Magic to figure out what they want out of the game. For a lot of people, that's winning, being the best, proving you're successful. But that's not what it is for me. And I also want to make sure it's very clear that the people who helped me who I shouted out at the beginning, did not push me to try to win. They are great people. They listened to my constraints and tried to help me make my deck better because I asked them to. And it's only after they did that I realized that that's not actually what I wanted. And so I'm thankful for their help because they spent time working with my deck, and I really appreciate that. And they're great. They're great people. It's not the direction I want this deck to go in anymore. I hope this has made some sense. I hope it will get you thinking about what you want out of the game of Magic. Magic's in a really weird spot right now because, of course, we just made a lot of decisions that a lot of people are very upset with. And I think now more than ever, it's important to reflect on what you want out of the game. Thank you.